Marched through the streets of downtown Champaign today, even shutting down traffic. Good evening, I'm Jen Lask. They're speaking out about the struggles people are facing during the pandemic. WCIA 3's Gabrielle Cook shares their message.
Many gathered right here in Westside Park to protest against injustices related to the pandemic, as well as take a stand against inequality within their communities. The Champaign chapter of the Party for Socialism and Liberation led the protest to bring attention to foreclosures and evictions.
I want the city government to reach out to the people making these demands and hear our voices instead of making all the decisions behind closed doors. I want people to come out to these protests and think about, when is the next city council meeting? Can I make it there? Can I log in and can I make my voice heard?
The group marched from Westside Park, shutting down traffic on Main and Neal Street in the middle of the afternoon. Protesters tell us they've seen the impact of the pandemic firsthand.
We live and work in the community, and a lot of the problems that are in the community, such as the shutdowns of electricity that are going to happen, are also going to impact us and the people we love and work with.
The group also wants more assistance on a local level.
The state of Illinois has extended the moratorium on evictions, but that's not good enough of a promise for the community here in Champaign-Urbana. We need more assurance that people will not be thrown out of their homes.
In Champaign, I'm Gabrielle Cook, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Starting July 27th, this Monday, the Champaign County Regional Planning Commission will begin its Low-Income Energy Assistance Program. For more information on that program, you can head to our website, WCIA.com. The Springfield chapter of Black Lives Matter held a voter registration day today. It was the very first of many as we head towards the November election, roughly 100 days left. The event was held at the African American History Museum in Springfield, and the president of the chapter said the goal is to get as many people registered to vote as possible, no matter who they intend to vote for.
Regardless of whether they're our target audience or not, should be registered to vote and should use that service out there. So it's important for me and anyone that we're trying to reach, because you need to vote for people from the top down to, local campaigns that are going to represent the interests that you have.
The event also doubled as a collection day for the group's annual school supply drive. One department is helping clean out old documents and paperwork safely. The Decatur Police Department held a drive-through shred day for community members. Drivers were required to stay in their cars and had a limit of 3 to 5 bags or boxes. One officer we spoke to explained why he believes the event is important for the community.
Chief Getz is really behind in supporting this kind of event because, it's a win-win for our department. It's a win-win for the citizens because it protects them from identity theft.
Officers say they helped more than 300 cars this morning, and they'll be holding another shred day soon. Details on that event are still being worked out. Protesters gathered in Springfield for what they called the Million Unmasked March. About 150 people came to the Capitol to speak out against the State Board of Education's mask mandate when schools return in the fall. WCIA 3's Cole Hankey was there.
For the 150 people at the Million Unmasked March in Springfield, following a mask mandate is equivalent to giving up their rights.
We know what's best for our children. We can call it parents' intuition, but it should be our choice.
The crowd, made up of parents and even teachers, all firmly believe that requiring kids to wear masks at school is inhumane and cruel.
I don't see why we need to put them in masks, give them potential for psychological damage down the road, and of course the potential to create more health problems for them as a result of wearing a mask over and over and over again. We fundamentally disagree with that.
March organizer Michael Rebresh said he isn't opposed to people wearing masks, but believes that others should have the choice not to wear one. The march also drew some counter-protesters. Trevor Good, a junior at Glenwood High School, came out after one of the school board members advertised the march.
Well, nearly every virologist agrees that it's the safest way to make sure kids can return to school. I agree with these protesters that we should be returning to school, but to be clear, that comes with a stipulation.
One of the people marching was arrested by Springfield police after she spit on a counter-protester. The protester was holding this sign when she spit on him. The mask mandate is meant to protect both children and staff when they return to school. Masks are found to slow the spread of the virus and keep undiagnosed or asymptomatic kids or staff from spreading it around the school. But Rebresh doesn't see the point in that.
Asymptomatic, if I'm asymptomatic and you make that call, then I'm going to say you're asymptomatic. If we're both asymptomatic, why are we both wearing masks? We've already got it.
Representative Darren Bailey and his attorney Tom DeVore spoke at the march as well. They echoed the claims that the mask mandate violates their rights as Americans. Reporting in Springfield, I'm Cole Hankey, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
A few of the speakers voiced concerns about students not being able to hear their teachers or see their mouths moving behind the masks, but the State Board of Education released suggestions saying teachers should try to get clear masks to avoid that issue. Meanwhile, across the state line, Indiana's governor is dropping a planned criminal penalty from the statewide face mask mandate that he signed yesterday. This comes after some law enforcement officials and conservative legislators pushed back. Governor Eric Holcomb had said on Wednesday when he announced the requirement that violators could face a misdemeanor charge. But the order he signed doesn't mention penalties and describes the move as a step to protect health during the COVID-19 outbreak. Indiana's reported 934 new cases within the past day and has a rolling positivity rate of 8.9%. The Illinois Department of Public Health is reporting 1,426 new confirmed cases of COVID-19. That includes 12 additional confirmed deaths. This brings the total to 169,883 cases, including 7,397 deaths. The preliminary 7-day statewide positivity for cases is 3.6%. Still to come on WCIA 3 News at 6.
It's showing students they can fit in across that spectrum.
How a U of I program is being recognized for its efforts to help students stay healthy.
And we're starting out the weekend on the warmer side with temperatures today into the upper 80s, feeling more like into the 90s, and it's only going to intensify as we go into our Sunday. Warmer temperatures going to be feeling more like into the hundreds, and I'll have the details on when we're expecting that next rain chance right after this.